on this, but I'm at least gonna put this up. Y'all, really, y'all got to do better than this. Maybe to help somebody that this will stop. You have to drive an 18-wheeler like, not like it's a car, not like you can just nose into anybody or anywhere, any place. You got to swing wide. It's a big loop, kind of like when you're sewing, or if I don't, like, you should know this stuff, people. I don't know what to say. This guy would, and it's not just one company or another, but it's one of them companies that trains from the bunk. Okay, they take a person. How I got a like and nobody in the room. Google, give me my numbers. Y'all know what's up. So anyway, so basically, if you looked at that thumbnail, you'd see it, but he's right behind me. This is real time. This is actual. I was going to do a little live. Now I'm just like, I went and, I don't know, man. Like, I might walk by it in a minute and go inside and get some coffee. We'll go see what's up with coffee, because it just ruined my train of thought. I was going to go over the whole the 15th letter of the Greek alphabet and all that. Okay, good enough there, Robert. Yeah, well, there's a few more, but they're coming too, and Google messes with my numbers, but I appreciate it there. So nice to see you again, sir. So basically, I'll give y'all some intel on my next live on this, and this is just a little something. But think of this as a public service announcement. If you drive a truck and they did not train you well, feel free to find a parking lot and practice, because I'm not lying to you. I'm not making this up. If you want, get you a couple of cones, put eggs on them if you need to, or you could just watch the cones move or what. Go around the parking lot, back in. Then go around the whole parking lot again and back into the same spot. Find it on a day. Just do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get really proficient at backing in. But some of y'all can't even drive forward. I ain't saying y'all. I'm saying it's absolutely, yeah, some of y'all, there's some people, we're not naming names, but these companies are training from the bunk. Now at this point, it's gotten to be ridiculous. Oh Lord, here comes a Prime. It could be an even better show. You know what I'm saying? They may do something at any point. You never know. There's your Prime truck. We're gonna see what he does, right? Listen, here's what I'm saying, people. So this guy driving forward drove over the side of the scale, not the scale house, not high speed. This was at the truck stop, right? We're at the truck stop. We're just chilling at the truck stop. And behind me, well, hold on. You'll think I'm rambling. People, this is what's up, okay? Can you see the scale and you see the dude, right? So this guy here at the scale, he overshot the scale to the left, and now he's stuck, and he has to have a record getting off the scale. This ain't even a road event. He's taking up records that we could be using. Let me see if I can get it. Yo, check this out. So there we go. You know what I mean? There's him. He's stuck. Jack over on the side of the, he's stuck. Now, how are you going to do that and say, look, I've been well trained? Now, I get that he's got a Pegasus trailer. So, obviously, he believes in unicorns that fly. Nothing against that. I just can't, I ain't nothing against that company. But CRST, y'all got to do better, CRST. Seriously? Dude's on the side, jacked over the side of the scale. He's got his lights on now. Very, very bad place to be. He's been calling in and trying to get it figured out. So, this is what we're dealing with today. I'm just saying, CRST trained from the bunk. One dude's in the bunk, right, and sleeping, and he's the trainer, and then the other dude, and then here's the fuel aisle. Everybody else knows how to drive straight. Everybody else ain't nobody got no problem driving straight through. There's a scale, there's plenty of room back there, okay, and he's stuck. So every time he hits the switch, his lights come on. He ain't going nowhere, he's stuck. So they're gonna have a wrecker come and get him. Hold tight. We'll put y'all back on the dash cam. Listen. Here's what I'm saying, people. I'm not making fun of a certain company, but if you are with a company and trained with a company and they trained you while the trainer was sleeping, you did not get trained. If he's sleeping in the back, right? If he's sleeping, you're not fully trained. Okay? That's an issue. So, you know, I'm just saying. Anyway, hold on a second here. I'm moving stuff around here, but like I said, if you have not, how can I say this? Okay, if you remember back when you were trained, or if it's recently happened, and the person training you was asleep, and you were driving, and he said, "Wake me up if you hit something," or if he said, how can I say this? If he said, "Oh, well, if we get in so many hours of you driving and me driving, then you're trained," that's not training. There's low bridges, there's no truck routes, and you have to have a GPS. Now, I'm gonna say this: I had a GPS that was giving me issues. I bought another GPS, another phone. This one here, I got it worked out. I'm getting there, people, on stuff. But listen to me when I say this: you got to have 4 GPSs. Like in the military, they say 2 is 1, 1 is none. And I'm just leaving you on this view right here, if you don't mind, so I can see the comments. But I'll get to that in a second. But so check this out. There's so much to know, and you can't even know where all the truck stops are, so you need trucker path, okay? But if you feel like you weren't trained, don't, it's no big deal. You have a license to learn is what it's called, but it's a license to drive a truck, but you don't have all of the training necessary, because the training is daily. This windshield right here, this is a training video, okay, that you watch daily, and you learn from it daily. Try to learn something every day. So, like I said, I'm not knocking nobody. If you've been driving a truck for more than a year and you're not upside down in a ditch and dead, you're doing a great job. Good job, and you're a driver. I'm not saying that you're the greatest professional driver. I'm saying you're on your way. It's all good. However, if you can't even drive forward without being stuck on the scale sideways, or run into the fuel aisle and hit it and have the leak like the Prime did. Y'all seen that video? If not, I'll put a link on it. It's famous. Listen, take your truck on your, I don't care if you're working, if you're 34, whatever, put it on PC. If they don't let you have PC miles, just do it and burn a couple of hours. Park into a parking spot, then drive around the whole truck stop and park into the same spot. Try to make it one where nobody's on either side, you know, in the middle of the day. Do it on your lunch break if you have to. When your lunch break's over, spend it about 15 minutes. Nobody's gonna fault you. Nobody's gonna say, why does he keep back into the same spot? Get good at it at a Love's where there's wide spots, not at a narrow spot like a Flying J. You get good at that later. And then those spots were made for 47-foot long situations anyhow. They were made for cab overs. They weren't even made for 18-wheelers. If you look at where the lines end, measure them. But like there's a Prime right now, he's got like 5 people helping him back and who knows what. I mean, look, this is happening now, but hey, at least he's moving slow, being deliberate. He's got his 4-ways on to let everybody know he's a danger to everybody around him. I mean, that's what, you know. And dude with the umbrella, I don't know. Maybe y'all remember this guy from the Kennedy video, from the Kennedy assassination, the dude with the umbrella. I'm just saying. So, nothing against nobody. I'm just spotlighting on what's up. He's got to do with an umbrella, okay? How you gonna beat that? You know, he's doing his job. He's got somebody out there telling him, okay, when you do this, turn this way. But if you don't have that as a trainer, okay? And like I said, Primes, they're pretty bad. But if you don't have this guy with the umbrella as a trainer and something, don't open your door and look out. Come on. Anyway, yeah, he was going to embarrass me now. But the point is, okay, I'm trying to say he's doing a good job. Now he's going to make me look like I'm wrong. If you don't have a trainer that's out there, even in the rain, okay, guiding you, and didn't have this kind of help, and they were asleep, and you're running over stuff, you are going to have to do it now on your own. Maybe even have a driver help you at the truck stop. Say, hey, listen, I'm going to work on my backing skills. I'm going to come around this truck stop, and we're going to do it 2 or 3 times. You got a minute? You know, he might even help you. And there's a setup for backing. This is not it, because he's blindsiding. So he's getting help blindsiding, but he could have turned around and went over there. Never blindside. I'm gonna say that trainer really should have said, no, we're not gonna blindside today, ever. Okay, there's no reason. You could practice it if you needed to. I'm just saying, for me, there's a setup for it. Whatever. If you just have to get experience blindsiding, and you go into some crappy places. I'm not judging. I'm not. I'm just putting this out there. This is, I couldn't even go live before that happened. I'm like, okay, if you can't even drive forward without driving over the scale, you need to swing wide. So, I don't know how they're going to do it at intersections when there's a car there. You run over the hood. People, this is just a little something. But I'm going to put this out about my next live. This is what I wanted to talk about, and I don't have time. I'm gonna do a little something. I'm fixing to roll. Cannonball run. So, okay. This is about the new variant. And I'm not going to use the words, but this is about the new variant. Okay. Israel said that they had a vaccine that was a weaker form of the virus. Okay? Now, they said that it was for their military. They came up with it. It's great. I was about to tout it and say, hey, that's awesome. Well, either this new one is that variant that got released and actually was transmittable, which it's 70 times more transmittable than the other one was, and the RO or R naught value of it is 3 to 5, which is off the hook. So everyone on the planet will get it. Plan on getting the 15th letter of the Greek alphabet. Look up the Greek alphabet, look up the 15th letter. I'll just go ahead and I can say it on this one, it don't matter. On the next one I'll be cryptic, but Omicron or I keep calling it Omicron because the N is for null. There's nothing in this new virus. It's funny. So, but Omicron, Omicron, and look up Omicron Coronae, Coronae Borealis. So there's a reason. That's a constellation. The 15th star, because it's the 15th Greek letter, the 15th star in every constellation is named Omicron. Okay? But there's a Omicron Coronae Borealis, and then there's a Omicron Coronae Australis. It's in the southern half. I'm looking more towards the northern half because it has red giants, and the red giants are descendants of the angels, and the O bloodline, and O negative is the same as the Omicron, which is the tiny O. So if God is the big O, which is, he's the Alpha and the Omega. If he's the Omega, okay, then the sons of God, the angels, the descendants of these, the healers, O, okay, it's a little bit rough to say with me. I know I don't have a chart. I've got a dry erase board. I'm gonna go over this. The point is, O negative, bloodline, O, Omicron. So this is the healing virus, but what it is this. The symbol itself, Omicron, is used instead of blank parentheses meaning nothing or null or void, they put it in there. Okay? They put in Omicron. It means exactly this. It means that there's nothing there, but it's intentional. This virus is nothing there, but it's intentional. This is the new Omicron. So I'm gonna be cryptic on the next one. If they kick this one out, whatever. The point is this. I'll draw it out. I'll give you a good bird eye view of a dry erase board. My point is, this virus that they named Omicron, if it is what they say it is, either it is a released version of the Israeli vaccine, or God made his own vaccine. Because if it does what they say it's doing, which is it creates antibodies, it's highly infectious. It only infects your throat, your cilia, it gives you bronchitis instead of pneumonia, so you're not going to die from it. This is what I'm saying. Only a small amount goes in the lungs. So it will create antibodies to the other virus, and they say it's going to take over, is what they say, the other virus. It's going to not just overshadow it. It's like this. When in Egypt, Moses encountered the priests of Egypt, that high priests or whatever they want to call it, that were into magic and this type of thing, and they threw snakes on the ground and made it look like they had done something. Well, he put his staff down, and his staff was turned into a bigger snake and ate the other two. This is God's answer if he designed it. Either way, it will gobble up the other two. So there's a reason that they skipped if they were going by the Greek alphabet, Mu and Xi. And Xi, which is the same as Xi, the Chinese leader, if they were skipping his name to be polite, why'd they skip Mu? No, they skipped over 2. Why? Because if you look up the Omicron Coronae Borealis, which I'll draw and I'll show the stars of it, the chart, but the point is, and I'll get my computer set up for a live, by the way, where I'll be able to show sites. But to get you through it and to it, I can tell you this: on the Omicron Coronae Borealis, basically originally it was a circle, but now there's some stars missing, but it's a crown. Ancient people say it was a circle before, and then it lost some of its stars. It's a crown. It's a crown. This is the jewel in the crown that was given to us. So they named it properly by skipping over those other 2, which they never do. They named it properly. This is the jewel in the crown. If this Omicron variant, what they call it, and it's got 30 mutations. No, then they say no, it's got 32. Well, eventually they'll admit maybe it's got 33 and a third. Are you with me, people? This was created. You're not going to have one variant that's got a mutation, and then another's got, and then this one has 5, and then by its own variant or design or whatever you want to call it, it has now made itself highly transmissible. It has made itself a weaker form of the virus. Hardly anyone, I don't think anyone has died, but even that is better record than a lot of vaccines, including the one we have now, if they were keeping actual records. Because honestly, people have gotten sick. Football players, a few days later, all these stars and stuff that have taken it, or famous people, I guess you call them, a lot have had side effects. Others have died. Look up Eric Clapton and his story. Look at he's like, I'm not going to require people to be vaccinated. If there's a concert that's vaccinated only, then I'm not going to play there. I won't even be in it. So people know that there's side effects. People know people are dying from it afterwards. But if Omicron has a better track record of giving people antibodies, but then also doesn't kill anybody, and in the hospitalization, they're going into the hospital for something else, like a broke arm or this, and then they test them, oh, you've got Omicron. They're, oh, really? And some of them have other sicknesses, and they have it. It's so light, people don't even know they have it, and they have to be tested to find out they have it. But it's creating antibodies. So at this point, maybe I should make t-shirts. My Omicron is my vaccine. I'm fully vaccinated, or whatever. You know, that's going to happen. So this is great news if it is what it is, and if they named it aptly and properly, then they named it well. It may be our saving grace, and like I said, either Israelis made it or God made his own version just like theirs, and it works pretty well. See, I got 5 likes. I appreciate it. God bless y'all, people. Like I said, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get rolling. That's just a precursor to the video that I'm going to do, where I'm going to show on a dry erase board some of this intel, so maybe people that need to see things on paper can understand it better than just me speaking. But look up the word Omicron. It's the 15th letter of the Greek alphabet. That's just like with storms, like this storm. If this was a hurricane, they would name it, you know, in alphabetical order using our alphabet. You know, so you would have, you know, A is for alpha, but I'm sorry, you can't say alpha because that's military. You would say Albert, or the next one would be B. It'd be, you know, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. It would be a name of a person. They wouldn't skip. They would not skip ever. They may change it from a boy to a girl's name, or try to make it something that's less popular. But there's that. They skipped over 2 Greek alphabet letters because they know what this one is, and they must have full faith in it. And scientists that actually do this type of research, just like the guy in Finland that had a reading on what was going on with the nuclear sub and said there's no abnormal. He was being funny because they've done radiated from Chernobyl half of Europe and all the stuff they got in the water. So You know, he was being funny. They have a sense of humor, like Christ had a sense of humor. Like, where's your accusers? Anybody seen any accusers? I don't see any accusers today. Is this not accusation day or whatever? People have a sense of humor. You have to read into it. The sense of humor here is the fact that they named it the crown jewel. The star, Omicron, is in the coronae, the crown, and we're supposed to look for signs in the heavens. This is not far out there or finding things that correlate that should not. This is what the Bible says, is look for signs in the heavens. It's to find out what's happening on earth. You look for signs in the heavens, because they're lying to you. They're talking above your head. Just like if you go into any court building and look up above where you walk in, it will be in Latin. Why does it have to be in Latin? Because they're not talking to you, they're talking above you. When they name these things, and you're like, well, what's that? Why am I calling this a COVID this or what? They're talking above you. If they called it really deadly thing, they would think at that point, well, maybe here's another CRST. Maybe he's going to pull his other brother out. Anyway, if they named it really deadly virus is going to kill everybody, people wouldn't go to work. They would revolt. There'd be mayhem. It would be crazy. So they're talking above you, which is the whole reason for doctors not teaching you how to doctor yourself, and they keep that secret too. Some doctors though are helping. Some doctors are teaching that, hey, listen, do this, and do this, and then you won't be in my office. Well, some of them want you coming back, like the old story of a judge who there was a tree, and it was on the line, and one person said it was causing problems, and another person said, hey, I want to cut it down. They were in court, and every year they'd go to this judge, and it was in the middle of this European country that basically was, run by one little judge in this area, was to preside over these cases, and he would have them come back, and they spent money, and then his son took over and was the judge when his father retired. And then the son went in and saw that case, and he cleared up the case. He says, this is obvious, we're going to cut it down, you don't have a problem with it, we're just going to cut this down. And this guy's fixing to be famous. Look, it's the Unabomber, just saying. So, hope not. So, I think they caught that dude. Yeah. So anyways, so the son cleared up the case. And he went to his dad. He said, hey, yeah, I saw this case the other day. I cleared it up. He said, how come for years and years you didn't clear it up? He says, why did you do that? He says, I make this much money every year off of seeing them. Now you've undercut your own money. See, it's about that sometimes. They don't want you to know this and that because it undercuts them. They want to still be relevant. Well, I'm telling you, there's enough people on this planet that if the doctors would teach people more things about how to keep healthy, like some of the doctors are, some of them are. The health ranger, he's teaching people. In his own way, he's a healer. So, so I went off on a tangent, but the reason that they talk above your head is because they don't want you to know what they're putting up. They're talking to someone else. They're not talking to you. Okay? It's not for you to know, but I'm revealing this to you because I don't mind. I'm like, hey, look, people should know this. What's going on? So in the next year, we will find out that, just like I said, that if everyone wears a mask, that we will absolutely eradicate the common cold and flu. Okay? It may not eradicate the coronavirus, but it'll eradicate the flu, right? Just like they were able to eradicate for a little bit Ebola, because they told everybody about it, they stayed away from each other, and it started going less and less and less, and then it grew again. Well, so it popped up somewhere else. Who knows why they're spreading it or how, whatever. So just like I said, we'll eradicate the common cold and the flu by wearing masks, and it just about has. This new variant, they say, even the doctors say, that it's going to be not just the predominant strain, but it's going to get rid of all other variants because it will create antibodies. It's so highly transmissible. I don't know how many cases they said were in the United States now, but it's going to be everywhere. Everyone will get it. Plan on feeling like crap. Plan on getting sick. You will get this variant. There's no way around it. With a 3 to 5 R naught value, that's insane. Everybody's going to get it. But you'll get over it, and then you'll be immune to any type of coronavirus. All of them. Every bioweapon they've designed that's corona, all of it. So that's why this is the crown jewel. And that's why I say somebody's got a sense of humor, skipping over a couple letters, naming it Omicron. That's like Omicron Coronae, and you look at Omicron Coronae Borealis, and it's the crown, and it's a jewel in the crown, and it's a red giant. Someone's got a sense of humor. So it's a little O by designation, a little 0, a small O, not the letter O, not 0. It's not delineated by the line through it. It's a O. And it means that there's nothing in it by design. It's the virus that doesn't do anything except make you immune to other viruses. So it will infect your it will give you like a bronchitis type of a thing, but you'll beat it. And vitamin D, high vitamin D, is what's recommended by that doctor that's on YouTube. I'm trying to think of his name, and he talks about it. So take elderberry and vitamin D, vitamin C with rose hips, B12. Check your iron levels, see where you're at, and take a multivitamin. Stay healthy, people. God bless you. I'm gonna get off this thing. I'm gonna get down the road. But y'all gotta do better than that on the driving thing, though. For real. There's that. If you need help, hey, ask for it before you hit an expensive truck backing up, or even driving forward, get yourself stuck on a freaking scale. And then, with the high wind events, evidently, because we're going to have high wind, it's going to turn into like a different planet. Shut down if you need to, because I was empty. It about flipped me. It lifted me. I mean, that was full on scary. It didn't hit me till later, when the adrenaline wore out. So, people, I will do a live and I'll show the star chart. I'll get where I can either show it on a program on a computer or use my dry erase board that I have, and I'll fix it up. But so I think we have either a man-made or a God-given vaccine, a cure to this thing, and it is something that will make you sick first. But it's just like Moses put his staff down and it turned into a snake and it ate up the other two. Sometimes, like fighting fire with fire, building a fire line, burning up the brush, and then there's nothing to burn when the fire gets there. It won't spread any further. Fire line or fire line plow, either way. Sometimes fighting fire with fire, sometimes you need, a weakened form of a virus to stop another virus. The very first way of vaccinating people was this, because cowpox killed smallpox. This is my understanding, is that what it was that they were fighting. And the guy figured it out. He's like, how come these cows don't get it? Right? So he used it on himself, and it worked. And then he used it on a kid, and it saved their life. And then he kept further, and then he went further. So the very, very first vaccines were using one disease to fight another. I believe, if the numbers are correct and if it's doing what they say it's doing, that they aptly named it Omicron, which is the little O, which delineates that there's nothing there, but it was made that way on purpose. That's what it says. Look it up in Wikipedia. You can't make this stuff up. So, either it is a released form from Israel of their vaccine, or it's so similar. I'd like to see the test between the two to show me the difference. And I'd like to know how magical in like 5 minutes they already know it's got 32, or well, like I said, 33 and a third different mutations. I'd like to know how they already found that out. And they put it out in Africa, where everything else seems to be just dropped. So, God bless you, people. I'm gonna get off this thing. Have a good night. I'm out. Peace.